Let's talk about when wealth becomes a liability. You've seen many individuals as well as families where wealth becomes a source of conflict or dependency rather
Mhm.
than opportunity. How does something like a family constitution or governance structures help turn wealth into stewardship instead of entitlement?
Well, family constitution and government documents, the big piece is that they force you to be very intentional about defining things. So if you are the first generation wealth builder and you have intentions for how you want things to go, then you want to document that. And family constitution is a great way to do that. It's a great way to open up conversations with your next generation and their children as well, and say, hey, here's our intention here. Here's what we want to be. Here's what we want to accomplish with this, with what we've been blessed with over the generations, and let's have that defined. And things that aren't written down tend to not be well defined. And the great thing about a constitution is that it can also outlive you. So if future
Mhm.
generations are benefiting from your financial legacy,
But
then
also, they have a template.
they need to have a template. So the Constitution helps kind of define the non-financial legacy part of what they're supposed to do with it. So that tends to be we're reiterating some of the things that we're talking about, which is, we got to be transparent and we got to communicate. And
Yeah,
family constitution comes into that.
yeah. Sometimes in a trust, because I've worked with trust since 2013, they can call it like policies and procedures. It's called also in slang, when things go wrong, this is how we deal with it.
Yeah, what's our guidance?
And so I think a part of that transparency or guidance of when things go wrong, like, it's not just the bicycle gets stolen by the teenager. Who's got the second set of car keys if they've got to go and get the car out of impound of a tow yard? It could be, and again, it doesn't even have to be drastic. It could
Correct.
be
Oh,
um,
absolutely.
that there was an argument, or even how we deal with communications. It could just be, well, one sibling shouldn't go behind the back and talk with the cousin or the parent, and here's how we deal with it, so we can have a family culture,
Hmm.
or even a culture with a couple. If they're just starting out, like you said, you're dealing with a lot of first generation, and they may not have heirs yet, or children. And so again, how do they deal with establishing what is our culture? How do we deal with one another, particularly when problems come up and conflict and challenges?